This video here goes out to my good friend Gordon. He's seen the video where I was shooting the Smith & Wesson's 625 revolver in 45 ACP, and he really liked it. I've had a bunch of people comment on it and say they wanted one, and I've had a bunch of people make derogatory statements about it. Okay, so this is a video explaining why, for reloaders, why we need certain guns, or why I like certain guns as a reloader. Every firearm that you see here on the table is a semi-automatic caliber. Okay, this one here, 45 ACP. This one here, 10 millimeter, and this one here, 10 millimeter and 40 Smith & Wesson. Okay, this is a double action revolver. This is a semi-automatic firearm, and this one's a single action firearm. There are advantages and disadvantages to all of them. Okay, as a reloader, when we're reloading, we want to make sure that our semi-automatic rounds function in a semi-automatic weapon. Semi-automatic weapons are fun to shoot, easy to load, and they're just all around great firearms. Okay, but as a reloader, one of the things that I just truly despise about a semi-automatic weapon is picking the brass up after they eject onto the ground, into the grass or into the dirt, or when they just eject on the ground inside of a range on the concrete. Bending over and picking up all that brass can be a pain in the butt. Plus, a lot of times, you're picking up other people's brass and not necessarily yourself. So let's say that you go out and you buy some nice Starline brass to reload for your firearms, and you go out there and you shoot a couple, and next thing you know, you can't find them. Case in point, I bought some brand new Starline brass for this 10 millimeter, went out and shot it, couldn't find 3 or 4 pieces in the weeds. So, it makes it very time consuming to look around in the weeds for 30 minutes for something you can't even find. Okay, so the double action revolver is a great alternative. You can take this firearm, you can load it up with moon clips, okay, and shoot it and eject it and still keep all your brass and still not have to bend over. Excellent way of doing it. The problem is you have to take this moon clip and you have to load each individual spot by hand, load it into the gun, and then take it back out, and then you have to use a tool to take the spent rounds out. All right, so that can be a problem. So you always have to have these, or, if you load them in here without that, they will go in, but they might have a headspace issue. Plus, when you try to eject them out, they're real hard to get out. So therefore, with the semi-automatic cartridges, you need moon clips for a double action revolver. Now, on that note, the 45 ACP being the great round that it is, they also have the 45 ACP auto rimmed, where you can get the auto rim cartridge, put it into your 45 ACP revolver, and the rim acts like a moon clip. So all the rounds go in and eject out just like any normal revolver. That's where the single action revolver comes in. On the single action, you just load the rounds to the loading gate, shoot them, and then just eject them out. So you don't have to have moon clips, you don't have to have any other item to load up inside the single action revolver. Makes it easier to use. Once again, you do not have to bend over to pick your cases up off the floor. Now, these models come in all different types. Of course, we have the 45 ACP, which you also know comes in the 1911 model and many other models. Also, I didn't bring one out, but I also have 9mm revolvers. The same concept applies. Now, with the 9mm revolver, they do not have the 9mm auto rim. But hopefully soon they'll come out with that, because there are a lot of guns chambered in a lot of revolvers chambered in 9mm that way. So to look at these, you know, double action, semi-auto, single action, for a reloader, you can't go wrong with this. You know, they're easy to load. You don't have to have any extra tools. You don't have to have any moon clips. You don't have to have anything. You just load the rounds in them, shoot them down range, and go. And yes, you can find these in just about every semi-auto caliber. The neat thing about semi-auto calibers is normally they're a whole lot cheaper than revolver calibers. So if you had this in 45 Colt and you had this in 45 ACP, the 45 ACP is a whole lot cheaper round to shoot out of it and to get components. So having a semi-auto cartridge inside a single action revolver or a double action revolver is an awesome idea for reloaders. Not unless you just like extra exercise and bending over all the time. Especially, you know, looking in the grass. You know, I just have things to do besides search for calibers or cases inside the grass. So a lot of people laugh or they don't understand why you would want a semi-auto caliber in a double action revolver. And a lot of people really don't understand why you would want it in a single action revolver. But I'm here to tell you guys, as reloaders, you can't go wrong with having a semi-auto cartridge in a single action revolver. Like I said, there's benefits and good things and bad things to all. You know, with the single action, you can't tell if they're going to cycle in your semi-auto. Okay, the headspace in the semi-auto is a little bit different than it is in the revolver. And it's not the headspace, it's the lead. It's the lead into the lands and grooves. It's a little different setup. So just because it'll function in the semi-auto revolver or the double action revolver, it may not function in your semi-automatic firearm. But there it is. There's some reasons why I choose the firearms I choose. There's a lot more things that we could talk about and discuss, but I just wanted to make this kind of a quick video for all you out there. But for reloaders, can't go wrong with the semi-automatic, semi-action firearm. Semi-action, single action. The automatics are nice, but you're going to be doing a lot of extra work bending over. You'll have bad hamstrings by the end of the day. Double actions are nice too, except they require moon clips for the semi-auto cartridges. But there it is. You know, people laugh, but for reloaders and for aesthetics and for pure enjoyment, can't go wrong with a single action. All right, guys, there's the video. Appreciate y'all watching. If you like this video at all, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to support the channel, please go to Patreon, the Reloader Dude at Patreon, or just hit the donate button below. But there it is, guys. There's the reason why I choose certain firearms, why I like certain firearms. And that's just plain beautiful right there. All right, guys, thanks.